Okay, I hope you get a kick out of this one. I hope this comes out pretty cool. I have these stickers right here. Collection edition stickers. What were they by? California Pacific Designs, 1989. Oh my gosh. So going back quite a ways, I got these types of glow-in-the-dark moon stickers probably from this store that used to be in malls called the Imaginarium, I think it was. If any of you remember that store, leave a comment in the comment section if that was the correct one. It was Imaginaire something, okay? And I always liked going in there. I wasn't like a mall shopper too much, but I don't know. Sometimes I'd find myself in one. Occasionally, maybe it was around Christmas time or the holidays or something like that. And I don't know. I really liked those types of things in there. It was kind of like kind of the more educational types of toys and games, for kids back then. Astronomy, I don't know, whatever, ecology, kind of, mentally stimulating types of toys and so on and so forth. I don't know. Might have been Lego in there. I don't remember. Probably I don't know, rainforesty types of things and whatnot. Okay, but anyways, okay. So I thought I would do, since this is a glow in the dark, I thought doing something on kind of a darker stock would be best. I was going to do something. I was just going to use one of my stamp sketches, but I thought, if I'm going to use that sticker, let's go all the way here and use it kind of in a little bit more of a, I don't know, a format that might be a little bit more fitting for the glow in the dark format that we're going to be trying to express here. Okay, so just laying down some cloud formations in here. Rip paper towel, okay, if you haven't seen this before. I have a video on how to do this too. I don't remember what it was called. Okay, but anyways, what I'm doing is I'm laying down white pigment ink on the top of this. In this case, it's a Star Dream. Darker blue paper, it's lapis lazuli. And what I do is I get that edge going, okay? But then what you do from here is you want to blend that down. You want to kind of transition it, okay? Going from a lighter application of ink, which means you're adding more, when you have it on, kind of right in there, okay? But then transition it down, okay? So you can kind of wipe it down, get a little bit more ink on here, but don't come in here with like a super wet one, okay? Or if you do, just add it in slightly like this, and then, when it gets a little bit drier, then come down here and blend that down. So you see you have this kind of not these solid straight lines, but you see this kind of transitioning down that way, okay? So you can fill in this little area down below with some additional ink, okay? I happen to be using the Brilliance ink. They're just faster drying inks, and I don't know. For this one, I don't know if it makes it, better or not. It just dries pretty fast. But it doesn't dry so fast that you can't blend it in. It doesn't dry so fast that you can't transition things and blend it in really nicely, okay? Of course, the Star Dream's not like a matte paper. It is a little bit more, I wouldn't say, it's nowhere close to non-porous. It's a porous paper, okay? Now, see, I'm, putting my hand in there. I'm picking up a little bit of ink, but it's not too bad, okay? It's not like totally wet, as if I was putting it on like foil or something like that, something that's really non-porous, okay? But you add it in with this little template here, your really expensive torn paper towel template. Now, sometimes when you rip across, it just goes like straight across, so you have to rip counter that, because paper towels have a little bit of a grain to them too. So if you rip counter, you can usually get a little bit more of a kind of a jagged rip. I don't know, sometimes you have to, tear slower maybe. I don't know, something like that to get, more of an uneven tear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this Lakeside Cove down here, okay? And what I want is this moon up here, but I want a little bit of a lighting to be happening down here, okay, in my water, so I'm going to put some of this down here, like so. Okay, so see this right here, you can kind of add some down, then you can kind of go back and forth like this. I know it doesn't look like shimmering water right now. It looks just like a blob of white ink. But when you stamp your image over the top of it, hopefully you'll see what this will represent, okay? I like to leave a little bit more kind of irregular too. See that right in there? It says, there's little spaces in between my streaks, okay? So in this case, having something not so smooth is desirable, okay? Everyone always wants like perfectly smooth, kind of like can't tell it's been done by the human hand marks these days, but texture is a big part of art, and having kind of the artist's hand in it, I mean you, not me, on your own pieces, I wish people would kind of develop more of a, kind of a value in that, because that's what, I mean, if you go to art school or something like that, expression is so valuable. It's like everyone wants to make these cards these days, like that look like they haven't even been touched by hand. They're like they're made by a machine or something like that. Which is nice, okay? So, I don't know. Some people say, hey, they gave a card to someone and that person didn't appreciate it because they didn't know it was handmade. It just like a printed machine made it or something like that. Unless people know you're making it. But, everyone wants to, have their handmade pieces appreciated. But I know it seems like they don't appreciate sometimes the handmade kind of aspect of it and showing the person's, kind of strokes or whatever in something. Okay, so that being said, we have our foundation here, okay? This is going to come out really different every time, even if I had this exact same template. I guess you can save this as your cloud template, for future pieces too. Why not? You can have like a little thing of, your varied cloud templates, in a little bag or box or something like that. Sometimes I don't get as good a kind of a tear in there. Okay, now I've tried VersaFine Clair on Stardream. You might be able to heat set it. But when I stamped it on, I think it was the silver one or something like that. I don't know if it was on the lapis lazuli. Might have been on lapis lazuli. It didn't dry really well, so it just stayed there. It looked beautiful when I stamped it out, okay? But then, I don't know, after a while, few days, I didn't even look at it, it kind of blended out. Like it stayed wet, and then it just kind of kept seeping into the paper. This type of thing is oil-based, so if you're not stamping it into a pretty porous surface, it stays very surface-oriented, and it might give it a chance to kind of blend out, because it's oil, it's just not drying. Okay, so stamping this out about like so. Get good pressure, okay? Now, one of the things that can help you too, I mean, the VersaFine Clair might be able to dry just fine over the top of dry Brilliance ink, though, because it makes kind of an extra surface for the Clair to soak into, so the Brilliance itself drying, if there's enough of it underneath there, it might provide enough of a porous surface in conjunction with the lapis lazuli to give yourself a good print. I say that because the VersaFine Clair is just such a beautiful, dark, rich black. Super crisp, I guess that's why they call it VersaFine. But the Brilliance is pretty good too, okay? Especially on your non-porous surfaces. Okay, so down like so. Okay, see that kind of, that, you know, that reflection down there in the water? And then we'll have that moon up here. Okay. It'd be good to kind of format this into a scene. I mean, a card. I should put, you know, some, you know, framing and everything like that. I'm going to do that on a future video, though. Okay, so I want to get a little bit more highlighting down here. Okay. I need to be careful because that VersaFine, while it dries pretty, the Brilliance, while it dries pretty quickly, yeah, see, it's picking up on this, but I'm transferring enough of the white down there, so, okay. All right, so I just wanted to create a little bit more lighting down there because, you know, that moon's going to be stamped up there. And while I don't necessarily want to match that moon's lightness, oops, I almost used the white here. I do want to get a little bit more lighting down there to match how light that moon will be. Okay, so here's this. Putting some foreground into the scene. Okay. I'm not going to put anything up top there, like an overhanging tree limb or something like that, because I'm going to have that moon up there, and I want to see how that's going to look. So, where'd it go? Here we go. Looks like I already used 4 in here. These are probably, I don't know, I wonder if we can get some glow-in-the-dark moon stickers still. I don't know if, these ones are raised. They're like that little puffy, you know, type of raised look. And feeling this here, you know, these things are really old. And it's still really sticky, no problem. But I can tell these pieces, it seems like they kind of flattened out. I can't even get this back in here for some reason. Why is that? Do that later. Okay, so I'm going to put the moon up here. I'm going to try to charge this up with a little bit of light first, okay? And we'll put this right here. Sometimes, you know, when I'm putting together these scenes like this, I often think of kind of, you know, what type of thing would a kid get kind of excited about if you gave them a card. And, you know, it's always this thing, I don't know if it would, you know, enchant them these days with, you know, so many different things out there, you know, their iPad, you know, things that they can do on a tablet or their phones or whatever, you know, that are going to be so much more dynamic. But, you know, maybe, you know, I'm thinking about back when I was a kid, it's always those little extra things, you know, some kind of card that can light up in the dark or glow in the dark, or, you know, it has a little battery powered thing. I don't know if there was too much of that going on. That might have been like 20 years after I was a kid. But I don't know. You can think about those things, you know, your card making with those types of sensibilities too sometime. Like, okay, having a kind of a glow-in-the-dark element, you know, because we are kind of kids, you know, in a way, still making our cards and cutting things out and really having fun in that respect. Okay, I'm putting just a little bit of highlights down here. I'm just thinking, because I'm going to turn off the lights and take a look at this, so I need to go a little bit more, I need to have a little bit more impact, I think, because we're not only looking at something like this in the light, you know, which will be most of the viewing of it, but most of the viewing situations, okay. I don't know if anyone, you know, someone might take it in the dark once, you know, I don't know if they're going to keep doing that, but let's put a little bit more kind of highlighting in it to stand out in a darkened situation. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it would be really cool if this was glow-in-the-dark too, but I don't know. I don't find those glow-in-the-dark paints and pens to really glow-in-the-dark for too long. It's like you charge them up and it lasts like 2 seconds or something like that when you turn the lights off. A lot of time, you know, a lot of times. If any of you know, like a really great glow-in-the-dark ink or paint that you've tried and works really well, please let me know in the comment section. Or you can even provide a link down in the comment section. You know, maybe all of us would like to know. But it'd be pretty cool if I can add little, you know, kind of highlights down here and things like that. Or wouldn't that be cool if there was some kind of ink where, some of this white, we can apply like a glow-in-the-dark ink, over the top of that or something like that. And if that would glow as well, that we can apply with this. I don't know, maybe we get an ink or paint and we put it on like a little, tray or something like that, and we kind of ink it up like that, and we can dab it in where it's like a kind of softer touch or something like that, or application. Okay, so that is that. I mean, this is a pretty quick card here, without doing too much. Okay, now I know that looks like, that looks crazy. That's like a warmer tinge, and that's not, but let me see if I can charge this up. I'm going to have to, let's see, I'm going to have to turn off my floods here, and let's see, I can't just flip them. Well, let me see if I can just unplug them. Let me charge them up here first. Or charge up the moon. Okay, I'm holding this up to my light. I think that is, you almost see it kind of wanting to glow. And, alright, I'm going underneath my table and unplugging. Okay. Look at that glow like that. Now I have some other light in the room, but you can kind of see where it's going here. Okay, I think if I unplug my other lamp across the room, I don't think it's going to, I think it'll just be too dark in here. Well, let's give it a try, okay. I have to leave my camera on. I would pause it, but I won't be able to find the switch maybe. Alright, there's a little ambient light from my computer, but okay, there's no way that's going to focus, with that little glow like that. But that's pretty cool though, isn't it? Let me see, let me turn that other light on. That's too much light though. Alright, let's see what we have here. Well, gosh. This camera's really compensating for the lighting in here, but that looks pretty cool like that. Yeah, let me see if I can kind of dim that out a little bit more. How does that look? It's not really. Let me charge that up again. Oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that fun though? As a card. It'd be, I'll format this into kind of a better format here, but it'd be really cool if we had I have these different quote stamps, and we can do something with, something about a moon. I'll see if I have some glow-in-the-dark ink or something like that too, because if you can put the quote in glow-in-the-dark ink as well, that would be pretty awesome. But look at that. I think that looks pretty neat like that. See, after I charged it up, with that, it's not finding the focus here again. Let me see. Okay, there we go. That's one of those things, see, like this sticker, I mean, it doesn't hold that charge for, a super long time or anything like that. And then the inks, it's even less, a shorter span of time. But I don't know. That's pretty fun, I think. As a kid, I would have gotten a card like this. I would have held it up and, under a light, and then I would have run into like a closet or something like that and closed the door and, checked it out like that. But I think that, there's a reasonable amount of that, that moon kind of glowing on that, on those clouds over there, so that's kind of neat. But, I don't know, some different types of potential. Oh, you know what you got to do? Those little stars that you get, those little plastic ones that, I think they're stickers. You know, and people, you know, kids put them on the walls or something like that, or underneath their bunk bed or something like that. That would be really cool up here. Some, you know, some of those stars up here, or if there's star stickers or something like that, I think that's a good possibility. Or, you know, you can do something like you can have stars in here, and you can draw a little white line from them, like they're coming down, and you know, like it's Kids Like Mobile or something like that. That would be really fun. Makes it more whimsical, you know, when you have them like they're on a string in the sky or something of that sort. So, all right, so just some different possibilities here. You know, using some glow-in-the-darks maybe at some point in time. And I don't know. If you ever do something like that, or you've done something like that before, maybe leave in the comment section if you have some examples of it online. Put a link to it in the comments section so we can all take a look. Okay, so anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks as always for tuning into the channel.